Greetings YouTube, this is what he said. It's a roguelike game, in case the title didn't already clue you in. To put it simply, you're a fighter pilot in a war. You're never told the reason for the war, you're not fed any propaganda, you're just told to get in your plane and start slaughtering everyone and everything on the opposite side. Isn't war fun? Well, anyway, this might be the longest single level I've ever seen, because the entire game is just one long level that wraps around itself. Fly to the left instead and you'll end up in the toughest part of the whole thing. Over the course of the game, you'll be given 100 missions to complete. Some will be fixed targets, others will require you to destroy a certain number of enemies that appear. Very occasionally, you'll have to defend allied bombers from fighter attack, but usually you'll be on the offensive. Your plane has its main guns, rockets and bombs. Bombs are the most powerful, but simply drop out the bottom of the plane. Makes it very hard to use them against anything with a decent turn of speed. Rockets deal moderate damage, guns are the weakest but have infinite ammo. It's a nicely balanced arsenal considering there's only 3 things in them. You never feel underpowered. Missions, like the level itself, are randomly generated, so there's no way to predict exactly what you'll face next or in what terrain. You will, however, take damage as you play. If you press left right on the D-pad, you can call up or disband a damage display. And despite the fact that it takes up a fair amount of space on screen, it never seems to obscure my view. I always have it turned on. Damage to the plane does make it perform worse, so avoid taking hits early on, it stops you taking hits later on. You always launch from the friendly aircraft carrier at the beginning, but you have a limited supply of fuel before your plane runs out and crashes. That severely limits how far you can go. To that end, there are airfields scattered throughout the level. Airfields launch enemy fighter planes, however it is possible to destroy and capture enemy airfields. This is extremely important for 2 reasons. First, it gives you a place to refuel, repair and rearm before heading further inland, plus you only receive mission briefings once you've landed. And secondly, it cuts off enemy reinforcements, forcing them to spawn at the next airfield along. That increases their response time to get to you and reduces how quickly you get swarmed by planes. It makes strategic sense to take out airfields well in advance. Not that having enemy aircraft around is always a bad thing though. The enemy will deploy increasingly dangerous aircraft against you. More gun damage, more armour, more agility, etc, etc. Ground targets will also have more guns defending them. To power up your plane, you will need to destroy enemy aircraft to earn power-up crates. The crates only drop when you've played far enough into the missions to unlock them. Stops you getting too powerful too early on, but make sure you down a plane or 2 every now and again just to check if power-ups are actually dropping. You don't want to fall too far behind. As you fly over the level, you may spy targets of opportunity. Woo! The targets you haven't been told to destroy yet. Blow them up anyway, because the game will eventually get round to telling you to blow them up. When it does so, the mission will complete instantly, which incidentally means you'll also get a nice XP bonus for blowing them up ahead of time. Blowing up random buildings though is a complete waste of your time. You'll learn to recognise what's actually a target after a while. One very important thing to bear in mind is you only have 1 life, but 3 planes. If you get shot down or run out of fuel or fly into a wall, your plane is destroyed. But assuming your pilot survives, you respawn at the airfield in a brand new plane. Wreck all 3 planes and it's game over. You have to remember to eject from the plane and open your parachute though. Don't forget to play the tutorial for this game. The tutorial is vital for learning not just the parachute but how to take off and more importantly how to land safely. When there are so many bad guys trying to shoot or blow you up, the last thing you need is your own incompetence costing you a plane. Apparently you can hijack enemy planes in mid-flight. I say apparently because I keep forgetting it's possible. Every 20 levels, you'll encounter the Baron. The screen will go all purple and da. And the Baron's plane is basically just a souped up plane, but it's still dangerous. Again, get those power-ups from the enemy planes. My personal best performance for this game is round about mission 60 out of 100. But I usually crash out around mission 30 if I'm being honest. Yep, I've never made it to the end of this. I still love it though. It's repetitive certainly, but I find it great fun.